Hello fellow astrologers, welcome back to the next video in our Astrology Keyring Fundamental series. In this video we're going to talk about what are the 12 signs. See right here we got all of the symbols listed as to what are all the 12 signs. We're going to see how they all connect right here on the key ring, talk a little bit about them, and then talk about some interesting facts. What are the 12 signs? The 12 signs of the zodiac are the heart of Western astrology. Each sign represents a 130-degree segment of the 360-degree zodiac wheel and corresponds to a specific time of the year. These signs are not just symbols, they express a unique blend of elemental energies, fire, earth, air, or water, and modality, cardinal, fixed, or mutable, shaping how energies flow and manifest. Each sign has its ruling planet, ruling house, and sets of traits that reflect core human archetypes. The sign provides a lens through which we understand personality, behavior, growth, and challenges. Together, they form a rich cycle of life stages, from Aries' bold spark to Pisces' dreamy wisdom, making the zodiac a powerful tool for self-discovery and connection. Okay, as per all of our videos, we have a cool little click section here. Signs here have interactive links to a Google search for any one of these topics. And if you see right here, all these C links right here connect to interactive links that take you to the actual video where we talk about it, like we're doing right here in this video. So what are the 12 signs of the zodiac? They're Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Now, as you can see, if you watch the other two series, the A series where we talked about elements, which are the triangles here, and the B series, which are all the quadruplicities, these squares here, you'll know that when you combine an element with a quadruplicity, you end up with a sign. So as you can see, this is where all the charts begin. Charts start right here and they go counterclockwise around here, and you can see this goes Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so on all the way around. The same thing right here with this list. You can see all the way through here. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, all the way through down to Pisces. And next time you'll see what their corresponding symbols are. It's good to memorize these symbols that you'll see here, especially for the signs and the planets. We'll also have one later on for the angles later on. That'll be part of the F series, but we get into that later on in the book. So we're not going to get into too much specifics about any one sign because that's going to happen in these other videos that you see here. Now let's take a look at these interesting facts about the signs. Each sign has a ruling planet that favors its style of expression. Mars rules Aries. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So, we had mentioned earlier, if you look here, you can see there's a planet for each one of these signs. Also down here, if you look down here, you see all the planets that correspond to the signs. So every planet has its own sign that it rules. Now some planets share, like there's Mercury here and Mercury here. The Virgo shares Mercury, and also Venus over here is shared by Taurus and Libra. Traditionally, some of these old planets, like it says here, it says Mars, was shared by Scorpio with Aries, and over here Jupiter was shared by Pisces with Sagittarius. Now these are old rulers. They're not that way anymore. The new rulers you'll see where Aquarius is now ruled by Uranus. It used to be ruled by Saturn. You see right here, Neptune is actually ruling Pisces now instead of Jupiter. And over here, Pluto is ruling Scorpio instead of Aries. But that's because they found new planets. We'll get a lot more of that when we get into the D series when we discuss planets, which will be the next series. Next thing. Opposing signs like Leo and Aquarius often represent complementary or balanced forces. So, One thing you'll always notice about a sign, your polar opposite will always be the same polarity. We talked about polarity way on in the beginning before we talked about elements. But you'll see in this case, where Capricorn is earth and Cancer is water, they are the same polarity. They're both reflective, but they're the opposite from each other in polarities. There's a lot to be understood about your polar opposites in any planet. It helps face personal devils when it comes to your sign. At the core of every sign, deep down inside, is your polar opposite, hiding. Let's go next here. Your big three, the sun, moon, and rising sign, offer the most insight into personality. Now that gets into, those are the luminaries, and we'll talk about the luminaries later on when we get into planets. But when you take those three things, it'll tell you a lot about what the personality traits are. Almost exactly like Freudian's id, ego, and superego, where the moon is the id, the ego is the sun, and the rising is the superego. But they're flavored by what type of sign they're in. Depending on what sign they're in is going to really tell you a lot about how those personalities are, from their superconscious to their subconscious. The signs are not the same as the houses. Signs express the how, and the houses reveal the where those energies play out. So the sign, you'll see each one of these areas here is a house, and we'll get into the houses when we get into the E series, but they aren't the signs. Now, the houses talk about flavoring where things happen. Like the fourth house could be the house of home and things that happen in the home. Now, it is connected to Cancer, and a lot of things Cancerian are home related, but it's different than the actual sign. And we'll get in a lot more detail about how those separation works when we talk about it in the E section of houses. So that pretty much sums up everything about the basics about what are the 12 signs. If you stay tuned, the next episode we'll be talking about Aries in C1. We hope you have enjoyed this video from our Astrology Keyring series. If you like the content, please like, follow, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed journey.